India were slated to face South Korea in the quarterfinal, semi-final or any final in the world of archery, you know that there is going to be an inevitable outcome. And there was a ray of optimism upstairs when he said, oh, but Deepika Kumari is facing world number rank 61 Nam Seong. Sorry, world rankings doesn't matter in archery. What you do in the particular moment is what is very important, because the inevitable has happened. Deepika Kumari has unfortunately lost 4-6 to South Korea's Nam Seong, and because of that she has been eliminated from the recurve archery event, the women's individual recurve archery event, and with that India's hopes of a recurve archery medal in the Paris Olympics 2024 are done. Team event gone. Women's team, men's team, mixed team gone, men's individual gone, women's individual gone. And because of that, it's a rather sad end that you have to look at. India's archery campaign promised much but failed to deliver a lot. India had optimism coming into the Paris Olympics because in the recurve events you had done okay. World Cup stages in particular, one World Cup stage in Shanghai, you did beat South Korea in the team event 5-4 and you won that World Cup stage in Shanghai. But apart from that, again the Olympics showed that when it came to pressure, when it came to a lot of handling of it, India are well behind the curve.
But I feel this time, in the case of Deepika, I did not see that. I don't think that it was about pressure. I didn't see that. I personally didn't feel that she was under pressure. She was going neck to neck with her South Korean opponent. But I think just that 1-7 in the fourth set, if I'm not wrong, I think that altogether just turned everything around. And that point also, I thought it was because of the wind speed. So I think assessing the conditions and playing according to the conditions, in that situation the South Korean was much better. But as far as pressure is concerned, I think apart from, because I feel that the pressure wasn't the case, because she was consistently hitting those 9s and 10s. It wasn't like she was consistently hitting 7s or 8s. She was consistent with 9 to 8. She was going neck to neck. But just that 1-7, I think over there everything sort of changed. And I think that's why the Olympic Games are the pinnacle of sports, because the margins are so less there, that even if one shot is here or there, it's a 7 instead of a 8 or a 9, then you sort of lose out on that.
I will tell you, there is a point which Shashwat says about the wind. There was a big, they panned across the entire archery venue there. The French flag on top, I think it's the Palace de la Versailles, if I am not mistaken, that's where the event is taking place. The French flag was fluttering quite steadily, which meant that there was the wind factor. Okay, whenever Deepika was actually taking time until the last second, she wanted to ensure that the wind stabilized. You could see she was finding it slightly difficult to ensure that she got the points on target. And as I had mentioned, since the flag was fluttering in this way, the crosswind was going across her. So to control that, it needed tremendous amount of simplicity, and you had to just keep it straight. She was kind of struggling with that. But unlike the previous instances of Deepika, wherein when she took time, she struggled. Here she was calm and she hit the 10s. Whenever she took time, she really ensured that she hit the bullseye. Yeah,
that's why I mentioned this fact that I feel it's not about handling the pressure. I think it was just ultimately, she was really good as far as handling the pressure was concerned. So nobody should come out and say that she choked or something on the biggest occasion. I think it just came down to the skill and how you assess the conditions and how you played according to that. I think just that is what made that little difference. Apart from that, I think she was just brilliant in the individual event, because she sort of disappointed in the team events also earlier. But I think this time she was definitely really good. But it's a 4th Olympics, so I don't expect her to be part of it.
It will be tough. It will be tough for Deepika to come back for the next Olympics, because at that time even in this Olympics, she came back after she had become a mother, after she had undergone the pains of pregnancy. Now I'll tell you why South Korea are so excellent in archery. Okay. Prior to the Paris Olympics, they realized that this is the venue where they are going to hold the archery event, okay, at the Palace de la Versailles. They assessed the geography. They did a recce of the entire thing. They saw that there was this there was all these things there. They waited for the wind speed and everything in that. You know what the South Koreans did? The South Koreans took all that input, returned to South Korea and did a total match simulation in that same condition to get used to it. Then they had a machine installed where the South Koreans would be up against. That machine was consistently shooting a 9 out of 10. So you had to get the better of that so that they could get the perfect tens. Now you see, Nam Se-yong, when she was shooting, the pressure was very little. She had one bad shot, Nam Se-yong. But apart from that, her tens and nines were very, very consistent. Deepika's 1-6 ensured that she lost the set. Then that 1-7 ensured that she again lost the set. It was 2 sets that she lost. 1 set was won by total brilliance from the Korean. And that is the reason why I had just mentioned this particular thing. It's there, it's documented, there is video evidence. They had come to recce the event about 5-6 months prior. They then went to South Korea, built that same kind of match simulation. Now you know why the Koreans are one of the greatest ever teams in the history of archery. And recurve archery, I mean, you look at it, is one of the toughest archery events because you have to use the entire force of it. And you see why some of the archers have got cut chins here. Yeah. Because the moment you get it right here and you release it, it is a huge gash that you can get.
You can also have it to, sort of protect that place.
Yes, the friction.
Yeah. So I think definitely, I think she was really good, and I feel archery overall is sort of getting better with the years to come. You have a Bhajan Kaur, she is still a youngster, she's in her first Olympics, she could definitely be a prospect going ahead.
Yep.
But for now at the Paris Olympics 2024, it's the end of the archers. There are still lots of events left. You have the wrestlers still to come. You have Nishan Dev tonight. Who would be eyeing that medal also. Yep. Heartbreak in the morning also as far as Manu Bhaker is concerned. But yeah, all in all.
Okay, I'll just take this one comment and analyze this further. Dex is saying, and this is where I have problem with so-called fans and also fans like Dex here. Please sit and go from now on, hype only those who can have a realistic chance of a medal. You're hyping every single athlete like a gold is guaranteed. Dex, please from now on, open your brains. I will just say this, open your brains. We do not hype individuals just like that, just like random. It's easy for you to sit in a keyboard and criticize that, okay, have you followed what has happened with South Korea and India? Have you followed the archery sequence of events? If not, then you have missed the entire point of your criticism. I'll tell you why. India had beaten South Korea in the World Cup league stage, in the World Cup stage in Shanghai. The World Cup is just a notch below the Olympics, okay? Because of this, we felt that, okay, perhaps there is hope. Dheeraj Bommadevara and Ankita Bhagat took you to an event where you didn't even have a chance of a medal. You at least got there until the bronze medal playoff. Here, Deepika Kumari is coming back after pregnancy. And to fight and become to where she is, get to the quarterfinals, that itself is a big achievement. Second, recurve archery, if you had listened to our previous hype and all, if you had to listen to it, let us make one thing clear here. We had very little hopes from archery. Very little. We called it the miracle sport. If India can get a medal there, it is, if you look at it, it is going to be that miracle sport where you can get a medal. But we had given our hopes on Neeraj, we had given our hopes on badminton, we had given our hopes one on wrestling or boxing, but when I saw Nikhat's draw, I felt, okay, this is gone. Daniel Lem again is saying, if Sid has been realistic, you say he's been negative. He hypes all the players, you say just hype those guys. This is why.
I was going to get to this point that some people, I don't think you should be answering such questions, because half of the people say that you are being too negative, then the other half say that you are being over optimistic, you are being too, you're glorifying players who don't even deserve a medal. So everyone has their opinion, but I think you are doing something right that people have so many issues with you.
This is where, if India have to become a good sporting nation, audiences must have a mature thinking. They need to be mature enough to accept all sports. They need to be mature enough to see all sports. They need to be mature enough to ensure that you ensure participation and follow that sports for a particular cycle. Not just milking the opportunity only for the Olympics. I can give that much of information. I can talk about each and every player because I followed them from cycle after cycle after cycle. And it's not begun now. It's begun ever since 2000. 2000 every cycle I have followed. I know where with sport you can get a miracle opportunity. If some sports don't work out, it's fine. Didn't you all hype Manu Bhaker? But then this was the same group that didn't hype Manu Bhaker in Tokyo. And they were going after a 19-year-old girl. A 19-year-old girl was the target of all the vitriol that was there. So, Deepika Kumari, all the problems, there was, I don't know which, somebody said it, but they have a Deepika Kumari problem in archery. You have a problem in archery. It is not specifically to one player. You have a problem in archery for a simple reason. You are way behind the curve when you have to look at funds, when you have to look at allotment of it. How much can a Deepika Kumari do? How much could an Atanu Das do? How much will a Bhajan Kaur do?
Behind the curve in recurve.
It is. You are behind the curve. And listen, in mythical times, don't we all admire the skills, the archery skills of so many of our warriors, like Ram, like Lakshman, like Arjun, all of them didn't
Dronacharya.
No, I will never include Dronacharya. Because if you follow Dronacharya's example, there's a problem there also. So you have to blame the audience. Pradeep Shinde, I will have to blame the audience for one simple reason. Look at it in isolation. Criticize where the criticism is there. But Deepika Kumari, all the abuse that's been directed to her, that she's a choker, she's never performed, she's never hyped it up. But boss, if you are saying that you hype it up, there is a reason that you shouldn't. We never counted archery as one of the medal events. Because of one simple thing, recurve, you're well behind the line. You're well behind the line, and in this cycle also, it's been shown. So what everybody else can help India, can help Indian sport. Follow each and every sport, understand the nuances, understand the rule, encourage that you have to participate and watch it. Then and only then you will understand why you are not a sporting nation.
And as soon as you people also start watching other sports, then only the associations, the government will start investing in other things and everything. It also depends on the viewership and stuff like that.
There is no foresight.
Yeah.
There is no foresight in Indian sports. It's just ad hoc, and you're too tied up with the government. Simple thing, you're too tied up with the government. You need a proper partnership of private and public. Then and only then, without all the hassles. Look at the archery build-up. The coaches were not given the proper accreditation. That is the main problem. So, this is why I think this archery thing, it has exposed two things. Number one, get the system in place, please. Try and get a system in place. We are talking about 2024. We are not talking about 1980. We are not talking about 1970 for crying out loud. Where we lived through those horror times of bureaucracy. Now it's 2024, things have to get easier. Second, try and ensure that you are at least catching up. In the next 20 years, you should be hopeful of a medal. I'm not saying if you do it now, change will happen in 4 years. No.
Yeah.
Looking at it, you have to take 20
By the time we have the Olympics in India, maybe
Yep.
India will be one of the contenders.
Well, we don't know. I don't think so. See, if you don't do well now, supposing India will win about 7 medals, okay? I say it now, and we'll even do the postmortem of the Olympics later on also, on 12th. I will say, you have not progressed. If you just are content with 6 or 7 medals, you are not progressing in the world of sport. Simple. If you get 8 or 9, it is just a small achievement.
Yeah.
But for the population that you have, 8 or 9 medals also is an utter colossal failure because of the system that you have in place. So Deepika Kumari unfortunately has bowed out, but do not abuse her. That is the only thing I'll have to say. She's gone there not on a junket. She's not gone on a picnic. She's tried to win a medal for you guys. So thank you so much folks for joining us. Medal events are done for the day. You have one event coming up.
Which would assure you a medal.
Which might assure you a medal, yes. So that is the thing. And Abhishek Kumar, there was a Korean. There was a Korean coach. But your archery association and the Indian Olympic Association, there was some problem with the visa. Wang Bun Ki, he was your archery coach, but he couldn't get the accreditation, and that's why he left. That is the thing. And Ashish Dawai's compound archery, not in Olympics. Compound is an American version of recurve, and that too, if you look at compound, there is a lot of mechanical things, so it makes easier to shoot. Recurve is the real deal in archery. It takes the entire effort. The more stress you put, the more power you create, and that's why, because of the shape of the arrow, it's a double inward and out, it's called a recurve. Yeah. So that is why it is much more difficult. Compound will anyway not come, because it's the American version and the IOC is not ready for it yet. Yeah. So from me and Shashwat, it is bye-bye, see you soon, and Let's see how India progresses. Join us for the cricket dugout. That's going to happen at 7:30 also. Bye-bye.